Ladies and gentlemen, parents and students, if you'd like to take your seats, please, we're about to begin. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, members of the Parent Representative Council, parents, teachers, and above all, students. It's that time of year again where we come together to celebrate success, to celebrate each other, and most of all, to celebrate community. Today's ceremony will see a variety of speeches, awards and performances, and I invite you to celebrate along with all of us. Photos are welcome during the ceremony, but please can you put your phones on silent during the presentation. I'd now like to invite Ms. Howe and the school choir to lead us into the school song. As we invite one, perhaps everybody could stand up, ready for the school song, please.
Rousing round. I just love our school song. It makes me think I'm at a football game half the time and when somebody roars straight after it. Thank you for that. You may proceed off the stage. Last year, at this time, Mr. Ian Fish addressed us all via video. We sat and were very respectful, even though you were not here. Today, he's here in person, and I ask you to give him a round of applause as he comes out to address us.
Good morning, everyone. This is a pretty fancy venue, isn't it? It's very impressive coming in this morning to see the school colours outside the palace. Very, very good. Students, parents, teachers, administrators, friends and distinguished guests. Welcome to our presentation day, our opportunity to celebrate some of our achievements and successes from our year at EIS. This time of year is always one of change. Our preschool students will move into primary. Our grade 5s will have their first taste of secondary on Monday when they have their transition day. Our grade 10 students will take a big step as they move into the IB diploma. Many of you are perhaps a little nervous about next year, but we, your teachers and parents, know that you're going to have a great time and that you will meet all your new challenges with spirit. We know this because you've already shown us that you can do that this year, and the summer holidays are nearly here. The summer of 2016 will be a summer of sport. We'll have two huge sporting events, namely Euro 2016, the Europe-wide football competition, and of course the Olympics in Rio, Brazil. Does anyone know who that is? Right. Usain Bolt. Does anyone know how many gold medals he's got? No. I'm actually not sure, but it's quite a lot, certainly a lot more than me. The Olympics are an amazing event, and I hope lots of you will watch them. You'll probably have your favourite sport to watch. Who likes to watch the basketball? How about the swimming? After watching the swim girls, I won't be surprised to see some of you in the Olympics next month. The Olympics have been called the greatest show on earth. Certainly for participants, if you've ever listened to them being interviewed, this is more important than anything they've ever done in the rest of their life. You can see from these pictures, it can be a pretty emotional experience. And these are just the winners. Who is the greatest Olympian? Is it Usain Bolt? With his world records and double golds? Perhaps Michael Phelps with his 22 swimming medals. 22. Stephen Redgrave, who won 5 golds in a row, which meant he was an Olympic athlete for around 16 years. Is it Bridget Fisher, who competed in 6 different events, winning 12 medals? Or perhaps the Russian gymnast, Larissa Latynina, who won 18 medals? It's easy to focus on the victors and champions and their sporting prowess, but in many cases it's not so much what they achieved athletically, but what they represented that carries the greatest significance to me. Thank you. The first Olympian that I'd like to talk to you about this morning is an Olympian called Franny Blankers-Koen from the Netherlands, nicknamed the Flying Housewife. Back in 1948, when I was just starting out in my teaching career, she single-handedly destroyed the myth that age and motherhood were a barrier to sporting success. She was told she was too old to compete when she registered herself. She was 30 years old. And the newspapers criticised her, saying that she should stay at home to look after her children rather than play sports. Can you play the video?
Skiing the 100 meters. Despite her doubts, Blankers-Koen won her first gold, then qualified easily for the final of the 80-meter hurdles.
When I was about to go, I thought there was bound to be a false start first. As this thought crossed my mind, the gun was fired, and by the first hurdle, I was already lagging behind.
After a tense wait and a photo finish, Blankers-Koen was declared the winner. She found renewed vigour for the 200 metres and finished yards ahead of the rest of the field. The chance beckoned for an unprecedented 4th gold in the...
In the end, she won no less than 4 gold medals at the Olympics, in the 80 metres hurdles, the 100 metres, the 200 metres and the 400 metre relay. In 1999, she was named the International Female Athlete of the Century by the Athletics Federation. Next slide, please. In Seoul, 1988, an absolutely iconic lineup of athletes readied themselves for the 100 metres final. Carl Lewis, Linford Christie and Ben Johnson were in that lineup. All the athletes were on top form. 4 of the 8 finalists had achieved times of under 10 seconds, the first time ever. It was said this was going to be the race, the greatest sprint race in history, the fastest race of all time. You can play the video, please. I imagine there's many parents in the room that remember that occasion very well. Ben Johnson of Canada had won in a time of 9.79 seconds, a new world record by several tenths of a second. He said his world record would hold for 50 years. It actually lasted only 48 hours. Ben Johnson tested positive for steroids, a banned substance for athletes. It meant that he cheated. He had to give back his medals and his world record. Time did not count. Soon the race became known as the dirtiest sprint in history. Although Johnson's shame had come quickly, it turns out that 6 of the 8 finalists in that incredible race have since tested positive for performance-enhancing drugs and been banned from competing at times. Next slide, please. In 1992, Derek Redmond ran in the 400-metre semi-final in Barcelona. For many, it will go down in history as one that has probably tugged at the heartstrings more than any other. 4 years previously in Seoul, Redmond was forced to pull out of the 400 metres with an injury just 90 seconds before the start. But by the 1992 Olympics, he had successfully undergone 5 operations, his training had gone brilliantly, and he was ready for a second chance at a medal. He recorded the fastest time in the first round and won his quarter-final heat. Here's what he had to say on the day of the semi-final. On the day, everything went so smoothly. I got a really good start, which was unusual for me. I think I was the first to react to the pistol. My normal tactics are to get round the first bend and then put the burners on for about 30 metres, accelerate hard. But by the time I got upright, I was almost round the bend, much further than usual, and I decided not to bother, to save my energy in case I had to fight for the line. Can you play the video, please? Redmond's hamstring, hang on, I'll get to that point. Redmond's hamstring had snapped. He collapsed to the floor, clutching his leg. Now, most athletes would have been quietly allowed themselves to be carried off the track and towards medical attention. But as the Red Cross workers approached, Redmond insisted, putting himself back to his feet. I said to myself, there's no way I'm going to be stretched off these Olympics. I didn't know where I was. I really, really believed I could still qualify. Meanwhile, Redmond's father, Jim, you'll see him coming in a moment, there he is. Redmond's father, Jim, was fighting his way onto the track. He said, when I saw Derek hit the deck, I thought it was my mind playing tricks on me. Jim told his son to stop in case the injury might heal in time for him to compete for the relay. Derek refused. Well then, Jim said, we're going to finish this together. And finish it they did, slowly, and with the younger man's anguish becoming visibly greater with every pace. To those watching in 1992, his determination embodied the Olympic spirit, and he achieved a standing ovation from the 65,000 crowd. Can you move on, please? Fanny Cohen was clearly a talented athlete who did not allow the critics to dissuade her from her goals, and she went on to achieve an incredible success, changing perceptions of women and athletics immeasurably. Sometimes breaking down conceptual barriers is more important than breaking records. Ben Johnson achieved an amazing time in the 100 metres, a new world record that would have indeed stood for many, many years. But it's a story about how desperation for success can blind us and encourage us to make unwise choices. The fastest race of all time reminds us of the relevance of integrity and the importance of making the mark you want to make, and that usually means hard work, dedication, and honesty. There are very, very few shortcuts to genuine success. Derek Redmond's story is a stark reminder of how important our goals are to us, and how heart-wrenching it can be when fortune turns against us. However, it's also a reminder that there are those out there for whom we are a great deal more than the sum of our achievements. Derek Redmond did not win his medal, but his father was a proud man that day, probably prouder even than if he'd won the race. Take a moment now and look to those people around you. who would offer you that support, and appreciate them. And be that person who supports others when they're facing tough times. Every school year presents us with new challenges. Stand up if you competed in your first swimming gala this year. Stand up if you competed in your first swimming gala. It's okay, stand up. Who here read, maybe for the young guys at the front, who here read a chapter book from start to finish for the first time this year? You can stand up too. Who played in their first school soccer or football match? Yeah, a few hands going up. Yeah? How about a basketball game, cross-country run or athletics meet? Yeah, a lot of hands going up. I think a lot of you. Who completed a PYP exhibition this year? How about an art exhibition? Grade 10, did you do a personal project this year? They've gone shy. How about if you were in an assembly this year, a musical performance? If you entered any competition? How about if you contributed to a community service award? I think that probably hits most of us. Getting through school, especially when you get to grade 11, may sometimes feel like you're training for an Olympic final. But all of you here today have already shown that you have what it takes to succeed, to play fair, and to make everyone very, very proud of you. And who knows what stories we'll have to tell of you in the future. Just to finish off, I'd like to just say a few words about what it is to be in an international school. We often have a lot of change in international schools, and that means that sadly it's a time for farewells too, as families and teachers move on. To those of you that are leaving us this year, please know that we will miss you. You're always welcome in our EIS community, and we sincerely hope you stay in touch.
Thank you, Mr. Fish, for an unbelievably inspirational speech, giving us some role models that we can aspire to, except perhaps for Ben Johnson. I guess that's not the one that we want to aspire to. Which brings us to grade 8 and their performance. So grade 8 are doing a performance by Al City, and the song is Unbelievable, which is a nice segue from Mr. Fisher's speech. So grade 8, we'd like to come to stage, please. Thank you.
One, two, three, four.
We are very, very fortunate indeed to have an engaged and active parent body, and our school is the richer for it because we could not exist in the same way that we do now if our parents did not participate, because what we do is a partnership with you parents, so we thank you. The last 2 years, the Parent Representative Council has been led by Ms. Anka Koo, and she's going to come up now and address us. I know this is one of her favorite things. Give her a round of applause as she comes.
A very warm welcome to everyone here today. I'm standing here, as said by Ms. Josephine earlier, on behalf of the Parent Council, because I was kindly asked to make a little speech. Well, here I am now, with knees like jelly, because it's not really a thing that I like to do, but immediately when I learned about doing that speech, my thoughts went out to all of you dear students. You are the main actors on this very special day. And the last thing I wanted to do was to bore you with a boring speech, because that's what speeches often are for young boys like you. Dull and boring, right? Anyway, so hopefully my approach is a little different. Let me just already start by quoting Annie DeFranco, who is a performing American artist, songwriter, poet, and businesswoman. I know there is strength in the differences between us. I know there is comfort where we overlap. Well, these words are very simple, but yet they express exactly to the point what we are and what we do for each other in a balanced community. To build a strong sense of community within the school was our biggest goal this year. And I think we can say that together we have laid a solid foundation to what we can build on in the years to come. But instead of naming everything that we have done to strengthen the bond between school and home, let me just ask you some questions, dear boys and girls. So, could you please put your hands up if you have enjoyed hiring some parents to come in the classroom for some fun activities like reading, doing arts and crafts, or anything like that? Wow, I can see plenty of hands. Excellent. Did you enjoy that? Fantastic. Okay, next question. How about that exciting morning of International Language Day? Did you have fun trying to speak new languages and tasting some international snacks? Okay. Secondaries, did you enjoy it too? Okay, just to be clear. Who has had a great time with mom and dad and friends at our regular movie nights? Still quite many. Should we continue to do those? Okay, fantastic. I hear you. Okay, so these are just 3 examples of the fun events that we have initiated and participated. At this point, we would also like to recognize the generosity of your parents and guardians to have contributed to all the class runs in the beginning of this academic year. With that, we were able to acknowledge our dear teachers and staff members at Teachers' Day and TED. And some classes will even have a little end-of-year event planned by their CPR and homeroom teacher with the remaining class runs. So hopefully you all of them. Furthermore, the senior leadership team and the Parent Council really appreciated the numerous feedback on your life at school, which your parents thoroughly stated through the school-wide survey, which we conducted just recently. All that feedback will certainly help us to make the ANS an even more enjoyable place, where learning and success will still be important, but where you always also meet friends, teachers, and staff you can trust and rely on. Last but not least, I do have to thank some people. This is one part I couldn't skip and wouldn't want to skip, because those people really deserve to be thanked for. I'll make it short anyway. Firstly, I would like to thank Maricel. Maricel, could you please stand up? She's our event coordinator, and we'd like to thank her for her incredible work throughout the whole year. You truly outdid yourself, and we hope you'll be on board next year again. So thank you again. I would also like to thank all our CPRs for their commitment, help, and support this whole last year. You were the glue between the parents, the teachers, and us. The same words of thanks are going to all of the parents who committed their time and creativity to make all of those events mentioned earlier very special and a memorable one for everyone. We truly couldn't have done without you, and are very thankful. A big thank you also has to go to the SLT, and in particular to Mr. Ian. From the start, you always made us feel we belong, and that our opinion is welcomed and appreciated at all times. And it has been inspiring to work with you, so thank you very much. And finally, my special thanks goes to my dear fellow parent council members, Mrs. Rachel Stevenson, Mr. Eric Lewis, and Mr. Peter Trias. We were a great team, and I've gained truly a lot from working with you. Thank you for all the encouragement, support, and faith you had in me as a leader and in us as a team. I would now like to leave you with something to think about later on today. It's a quote by a man who unfortunately is no longer with us, but without whom apple would still just be fruit and nothing more. Guess what I'm talking about? Steve Jobs. Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your inner voice. And most important, have courage to follow your heart and intuition. They somehow already know what you truly want to become. Everything else is secondary. Thank you very much.
As Ms. Josephine said just at the start there, this is like Angie's least favourite thing in the world to do, so give her another round of applause.
Thank you, Angie. I love that quote, have the courage to follow your heart and your intuition. And I think we see that certainly in our parent council and everything they've done for our community this year, but we also see that in many of our students. And I guess that brings us to the main event, the reason that we find ourselves here today, and that's to present the student awards. So I'd like to invite Ms. Josephine with me, and we'll announce some of those awards. The first of the awards today is the award that exemplifies the International Baccalaureate, and that's the Learner Profile Award. Wouldn't you say, Josephine?
Yes, it does. We would not be. It's a very, very distinguishing factor of all IB schools, and it's something we talk about a lot in school, and our students certainly work very, very hard to grow these sorts of attributes.
There are many aspects to being an IB student, and it's not just about being the most academic and the smartest student. It's things like being a risk taker, being knowledgeable, being caring.
Being a communicator, an inquirer, and being open-minded.
So the award winners for this year for the EIS Learner Profile Award are...
In primary, Pham Nhat Ha, grade 2. Can you come on up to the stage? And in grade 5, Nandini Sharan.
The award winners for the Learner Profile from grade 8, Win Chan Phat, and from grade 11, Minh In grade 8, Win Chan Phat. If I could invite the IB coordinators to the stage as well to help present the awards, please. Mr. David, Mr. Andy.
Okay, another attribute of, thank you guys, well done. Mr. Fisher, you can be me. Okay, another attribute of, another part of the learner profile is to be a balanced person. Try to put balance in your life. We're going to give out some sports awards now, so it's not all purely academic, and we have the pleasure of presenting these awards because they're not just about athletic ability, they're actually about the whole person. Somebody who enjoys sports and somebody who does show those attributes of the learner profile. In primary, the female sports person of the year, Kim Swen Quinton from 4J. And the male or boy sports person of the year in primary is Timothy John Quinton.
There are no Quintons in secondary, so obviously it's not another Quinton on stage. There is one award for the Sports Person of the Year in secondary, and that award goes to Jennifer Tukan-Lego.
Back to the more academic, the Arts Awards in primary. The Art Award this year goes to somebody in grade 3J, Kim Min Chae. And the Unit of Inquiry Award, we've got 2 of them in primary. The first one goes to somebody in 2D. Julia Christine Keller, come on up. And the next one goes to someone in 3J, and I'm just going to ask you if our teachers and so on could help us. Could the winners come up those stairs over there, the other ones, rather than this one, and then you can go off here, okay? So the next award goes to someone in 3J. As I said, this is the Unit of Inquiry Award, goes to Trang Lung Tri Bao.
The arts encompasses many things, and it's not just the performing arts, but also the dramatic arts, and it's not just what happens in the classroom, but what happens outside of that. In the secondary school, we have 2 awards, one from the NYP program and one from the diploma program. In the NYP program, the Academic Achievement in the Arts Award goes to Von Whitlock from grade 10. The Academic Achievement Arts Award for the DP program goes to Mun Ju Hyuk Justin. In grade 10, which is the end of the NYP program, the grade 10 students do something that sometimes they dread and many of them fall in love with after a time. And that's called, not so much the passion project, but it should be, but the personal project. We've seen some wonderful work from the grade 10s, and it's always a challenging time. They take something that they feel interested and passionate about, and at the end they create a project. And this year, the award winner for the personal project was from grade 10, Von Whitlock.
We're now going to have an interlude of another performance with our students from one group of our students, and that's the grade 5s. I'm not sure what they need to do to get ready for their performance. Ms. Ha? They're going to come up and perform for us, and then we'll continue on with the awards. Thank you.
Hold on to me as we go, as we roll down this unfamiliar road. I know this way is bringing us along. Just know you're not alone, 'cause I'ma make this place yours. It'll all be clear. Don't pay no mind to the demons they fill you with fear. Trouble it might drag you down. If you get lost, you can always be found. No, you're not alone. Make this place yours. It'll all be clear. Don't pay no mind to the demons they fill you with fear. Trouble it might drag you down. If you get lost, you can always be found. No, you're not alone. Make this place yours. No, you're not alone. Make this place yours.
The song Home, right? I don't know about you, but when I'm at the EIS often it feels like home because my children are running around and my wife comes in and it feels like a place that's not a regular school, so I find it a very apt song, Home. This brings us today to our keynote speaker. Today we're lucky to have as our keynote speaker the General Director of ADECO Vietnam, also winner of the Vietnam Businesswoman of the Year in 2013, and voted in the top 100 business leaders in Vietnam. We're quite privileged to have somebody at this stature here, the Vice Chairwoman of Eurochan, Ms. Nicola Conley. Ms. Nicola, if you can.
Very much. So that's a big introduction to me. So, as you said, my name's Nicola Conley, Chairwoman or Vice Chair of Eurochan. How many people know Eurochan? Wow, okay. So EIS has been a very good sponsor, one of our corporate sponsors over the last year, so we're very proud to be working with them. How many people are from France? Yeah. France, okay. Germany? Okay. So as previous chairwoman and vice chair, I have to work with loads of different nationalities. Eurochan represents 28 countries in Europe, so I have to do what you've done this year, which is work with different nationalities and different groups of people. So well done to that. I was watching the performances. It's very difficult to stand on stage and do these performances. You're all so young. I know Ian and myself are a lot older, so I think you've done very, very well today to be able to stand up in front of everybody and sing and do performances. So a big round of applause for everybody. So we're very impressed with all the talent and the hard work. I think you've probably been spending a lot of time over the last couple of weeks making sure that you do very well with your performances and that you've all worked together. So you should be very, very proud of yourself. I graduated a long time ago, so it's taken a lot of hard work and teamwork to be able to get to build your career and to actually achieve what you've done today. So well done. You've had a lot of awards today, so you should be very proud of yourself. We're talking about communication, we're talking about balance, future leaders. So it's very important that you do work together and you do work together in teamwork and continue to communicate with each other. So very proud of you all today. I think you've done an amazing job. We're also very proud to be working with EIS, with Eurochan. So congratulations. I think you've got the Olympics this summer, okay, and we've also got the European football, so I think that's going to be a hot topic, and lots of TV watching and watching the Olympians win gold medals as well. So well done, congratulations, have a fantastic summer, and we'll be seeing everybody hopefully later on in the year, and then celebrate your achievements over the summer as well. So congratulations everybody.
The next awards that we're going to give out are leadership awards. At EIS, we value our students' voices. We want to encourage students to have an opinion. We want to encourage the students to feel free to share in the decision making wherever possible in the school. And the vehicle through which we do this is through the student representative councils in the school. The primary team decided that they wanted to be called the Student Leadership Team. And the representatives for this year are as follows. As I call your name, could you come on up onto the stage, and Ms. Nicola will give you a certificate and as a thank you for representing the other students in your classes so well this year. Grade 1D reps were Callum Christopher Gregory and Sarah Dan Vascaroli. Come on up to the stage. Teachers, could you help them up, please? And grade 1T, Angeli Nina Lawton and Soma Miyauchi were the representatives. Grade 2A were represented by Fiona Wombath and Felix Tuere. Grade 2D were represented by Yannick Dieu and Tran Ngọc Phương An. Grade 3J were represented by Tran Long Tri Bao and Lian Nam An Blackwell. Grade 3K were represented by Sage Stevenson and Timothy John Quinton. Grade 4J were represented by Ding Catlin and Win Tran Kenny. And grade 4-5A were represented by Maya Tilia Fish and Christoph Hacek. Please give a huge round of applause. These children are learning to be leaders and have voices. I have sat in meetings with them and watched them make decisions. They have helped us lead assemblies, and it is a terrifying thing when you're very little, but they do a great job, and we really, really want to encourage it. So a huge round of applause once again.
In the secondary school, there's been a bit of a battle, which you're probably unaware of. This year we had a staff representative council, and if you look at those initials, they're SRC. But last year we had a student representative council, and they didn't really want to give up those initials, so we still have a student representative council in the secondary, the SRC, and I'd like to invite the student representative council students up on stage. They are from grade 6, Danielle Oswald and Frederick Dutz. From grade 7, Archie Kung. Perhaps we can hold our applause to the end when they're on stage. Grade 7, Archie Kung and Wei Ming Ngop. From grade 8, Jane Hai Jin and Lee Si Hyun. From grade 9, Yu Byung Wook and Kim Do Yun. From grade 10, Ji Sun Ju and Choi Won Jae. And from grade 11, Kim Han Bin and Vung Chung Song. If I could invite Mr. Fish, could you come back to the stage and present the awards for the SRC? Learning about leadership is not easy. A lot of people feel that leadership is something that comes natural, but it's something that's learned over many years. And student leadership especially is quite difficult when you're working with your peers and still trying to lead us through events. But this group before you has done a lot within the school community and still continue to do a lot to represent their peers and also to organise particularly social events for them. So another round of applause please for the SRC.
Leadership looks such serious business. Just give us a smile. The hard work is done now. Round of applause again for this.
We've now come to that time of the day where we give out the House Award. So, can I ask for guesses from the audience? Who do you think is the winning house for this year? Sorry, I can't hear anything. Did you hear anything? Sorry, I still can't hear a thing. What was it? That I heard. What was that again? I heard cobras, and I heard eagles, phoenix. Did I hear dragons?
Dragons, did we win? Did we win? Come on.
Perhaps we could do a little drum roll. Everybody try to do a drum roll on your legs. Ready?
Mr. Mike's drum roll. Everybody.
And the winning house is, for 2016, the Cobras. So if we can invite to the stage the student leaders for the Cobra House, please, to receive the shield from Mr. Fish. So the student leaders for the Cobra House can come to the stage, please.
At this point, it's my pleasure to invite someone who has become a familiar face around DIS. Natalie is part of the Nobel Network, and she's actually HQ. Come on up, Natalie. She's HQ, but she lives at EIS, so she's become sort of a part of us as well. I'd like to give the microphone over to her to present an award from HQ. Natalie.
Okay, I'm very proud to be here from Nobel Education Network headquarters. This year we have decided to bring a new award to the whole network. Not all of our schools are IB schools, so what we wanted to do is to look at what was important to us, and we believe that international mindedness was very important to us. One student from every school is selected for this award per year. And this student can come from any division of the school. So it's not just the secondary, it could be the primary or the early years as well. I'd like to read out for you what the International Mindedness Award means. Right, it's for a Nobel student who has made a noticeable and positive contribution to their school and the Nobel Education Network, who is a good representative of their own country and culture with a positive attitude toward the languages, life and culture of others, and who has a track record of promoting inclusivity and bringing different people together into a sense of community, thus furthering the cause of international understanding. Not only does this person receive the certificate for this today, but they receive a personal note from Carl Enquist, who is the Managing Director of Nobel. What I would like to do is I would like to invite on the stage Nguyen Minh Ha from grade 11. And while she's coming up on stage, I would like to tell you about some of the things that she has done at EIS. Minh Ha has been an excellent ambassador for EIS. She speaks not only Vietnamese, but she speaks English as well. Minh Ha has organised the bamboo dance performance for the students and the teachers, which allowed everybody to celebrate the Moon Festival, and everybody could become involved in the Vietnamese culture. She also ran an IT workshop to help MYP students, so she is helping others to be responsible and organised. She has dedicated herself to 5 CAS activities and completed 3 this year. She has been to 4 MUN conferences. This has made her more outgoing, more communicative, and more confident. Her recent work at Tai Lai Village means children don't have to walk for 10 minutes to go to a toilet. Not only that, she is a welcome visitor to Phu Mai orphanages during grades 9 and 10, and she has supported them through music. She's also supported people within the school, Son and Nguyen, in their personal project. In grade 9, she organised a fundraiser to help people in the Philippines after the Haiyan hurricane. I would now like to present the award to her and a huge round of applause for her.
Natalie, but I think thank you mostly Minha. Minha exemplifies a lot of the things that we see in students before us. It's nice to see one of our students awarded for the very first time the inaugural International Minders Award. So perhaps another round of applause for Minha and also yourselves. We are ready. We are young and we have nothing to fear. Do those lyrics sound familiar to you? Do they resonate with some of you? They're from a song called Lanterns with Birds of Tokyo, and that's the song that the EIS choir is going to perform for us today. So if the choir could come up to the stage. A great night last night reading lots of lyrics to the songs that are being performed on stage tonight. And so you may not be aware of all the lyrics, but there's been a lot of thought that's gone into the songs that have been prepared. So.
There have been moments this year where a few teachers have gone into the music room to listen to different classes rehearse and work with Miss Ha, and at times towards the end of the term with Mr. Green as well. And I have had many reports of people coming out of there saying they brought me to tears. I was in tears. That was absolutely wonderful. I was almost in tears, but I'm not going to do that. Can we just please give them another round of applause? Thank you, Mr. Green. Thank you, Mr. Ha. And as the choir walks off the stage, we're getting ready now to present some more awards to people within our school community who've been voted for different reasons, to have been outstanding in one area or other. All our students are outstanding. Unfortunately, at times such as this, we have to choose one in each category. Going to ask the MYP coordinator, Mr. Andy, to come up, and DP coordinator, the PYP coordinator, Mr. Green, is not feeling very well today, so I appreciate that he's been here to play the music. I'm going to ask somebody else who has a passion for PYP, Ms. Natalie, to come on up and do the primary ones, please. Okay. Academic Achievement in Literacy is the first award we're going to give out right now for primary. And in the junior primary, it goes to somebody in grade 1D, Maximilian Klegel. Coming up. And in senior primary, it goes to Isabella Wisniewski.
In secondary, we have an Academic Achievement Award in Language and Literature. This is not just in English, language and literature also exists in Vietnamese and Korean as well. So it's been quite challenging for the teachers to decide who should be awarded the Language and Literature Awards for MYP and DP. The winner in the MYP from grade 10 for the Academic Achievement in Language and Literature is Ngo Tran Nam Lee. Literature for the DP program from grade 11 is Nguyen Minh Ha. Our school community has lots of language learners. In fact, everybody speaks both their mother languages at primary school. Thank you. And so we have an Academic Achievement Award in Language Acquisition, which is looking at all of our language acquisition. So in the secondary school, that encompasses German, encompasses Spanish, and also encompasses English. The Academic Achievement Award for the MYP goes to in grade 9, Ngongot Minuit. And in the diploma program in grade 11, that award goes to Muti Tantao.
The next awards are in mathematics, and we've called it the Academic Achievement in Numeracy. Again, it's an all-rounder award, this one. And in primary, the Junior Primary Award goes to Tae-Wan Shin in grade 1T. And Senior Primary Award for Numeracy goes to Wing Ngok Vanan in grade 3K. Just another aspect of our school, Vanan was a young girl who joined us not that long ago without any English at all. At the moment, we cannot stop her telling stories in English, and that wonderful acquisition of the English language is translated also into her success in mathematics as well. So, big round of applause for us too. Thank you, Tae-Wan.
In the secondary school, the academic achievement award in mathematics for the MYP program goes to, from grade 6, Din Huang Wan. Program from grade 11, Lo Guo Chan.
Fantastic. Another round of applause. Thank you. We're now going to, in primary, give out the awards for world languages. I'll call the winners for each language, and they could quickly come up and we'll give the awards out together. German Achievement Award for 2015-16 goes to Anna Ku in grade 2. The French Achievement Award goes to Ashley Margaret Grace in 2A. And the Spanish Achievement Award goes to Chen Hong Min in 3K. The Vietnamese Achievement Award goes to Tran Ngoc Phong An in grade 2D.
In the secondary school, we have an Academic Achievement Award in the Sciences. And in our MYP program from grade 10, that award goes to Choi Won-jae. And in our diploma program in grade 11, Win Han-young. In the secondary school, we have the following awards for academic achievement. In individuals and societies from grade 11 and the diploma program, we have Kim Han Bin. From the MYP program, we have the Design Award for academic achievement of Vo Wit Duc. Program, we have academic achievement in individuals and societies from grade 10, Vo Wit Duc. And from the MYP program from grade 10, academic achievement in physical and health education, Vo Wit Duc.
Okay. The award for the graduating class, academic achievement, which is the Ducks Award, because the trophy says Ducks on it. We've been having this argument back and forth. It's not. We're calling it the Academic Achievement Award, and the winner in primary for academic achievement for the year for graduating class is Bui Min An. She can come up and she's going to speak.
start by saying that I am very proud to be receiving this Academic Achievement Award from EIS Primary for 2016. Over the past year, we have all learned so well and grown so much. I have had a great time in grade 5, from going to visit the dentist and seeing how we can keep our teeth and gums healthy, moving on to a wonderful field trip to Muine with our visits to mud bath, sand dunes and temples with the grade 4s, and finally our grade 5 PYP exhibition last week. Lots of hard work and inquiry, but enjoyable learning. I'd like to say a huge thanks to all my friends, my teachers, and more importantly, my family who have helped me along the way. All these people have made me who I am today, but a special thanks to my family. It is time for us all in grade 5 to move on and wish us all the best of luck. I'm looking forward to the next year. Thank you.
That's Nancy.
I'm never sure whether to stand up without looking too tall, and if I duck down, I'm behind the flowers. The whole morning I've been doing that. The Academic Achievement Award is no small award. The amount of effort and work that goes in from the students to achieve this is phenomenal if you speak to one of these students in times of the hours that they take to achieve this. It's not just natural brilliance that gets you an Academic Achievement Award. It's also perseverance, looking at your goals, sheer hard work, willing to take risks, accepting failures and moving beyond that. In the Academic Achievement Award for secondary, we look at both the MYP program and the DP program. And we had one student who had quite a phenomenal grade average. The highest score is a 7, and this grade average that the student had across all of their subjects was 6.7, getting very, very close to a perfect score. So I'd like to announce that the Academic Achievement Award for the secondary school for 2016 goes to Valowood. To the stage and present the award. It's traditional also for our student who gets this award to give us a speech to perhaps inform us a little bit of what it takes in this journey to get an Academic Achievement Award. So I'd like to invite Dr. to speak to the audience.
I would like to begin my speech by expressing how grateful I am for receiving this honorable award. It is one of the biggest I've ever received, but hopefully not the last accomplishment of my life. As I entered grade 10, I knew I was going to face the big bad beast named the personal project and the ever-challenging MYP course. But I never imagined coming out the battle undefeated. I'd like to thank Mr. David for being the most supportive supervisor I could have ever asked for. You always helped me gain the confidence to push through whenever I doubted myself. The most valuable thing I've learned through my project is that age and experience can never restrict you from doing big things, as long as you're truly passionate in what you're doing. I will not deny that there were times I felt like giving up on everything, especially after looking at all the summative tasks and homework on ManageBack. However, effective time management solved most things. The amount of work will only grow if you procrastinate. The other things that kept me going each week is hanging out in District 1 during the weekend, regardless of how much work I had, in order to let off some steam. Then, I would normally come home with a few cups of peach tea or koi for work later on. Some relaxation is necessary. Looking back, I am so glad that it's over, while at the same time, very proud of my peers and myself for accomplishing this together. Nothing could have prepared me for this year, full of surprises and Although not all were necessarily good experiences, I'm a strong believer in the phrase, everything happens for a reason. I would like to thank everyone who contributed into molding me into the person I am standing here today. Without my beloved teachers and friends, it is certain that I would not have been able to conquer this busy and stressful year, let alone achieve this honorable award. I especially thank Mr. Guy, Mr. Gale, and Mr. Peter for always making my day with your hilarious jokes. You never fail to lighten up the class atmosphere and make our tiring schedule a little bit easier to bear. I will always cherish those moments. To my friends, I will never forget the countless all-nighter group Skype calls, which were initiated in the class chat with good intentions, yet sadly always ended up the complete opposite. The conversations we had were always lit and full of laughter. They definitely made those nights less torturous. I'm extremely grateful to my biggest contributors, the RIP Sleep Squad, for being a part of my life, forever a part of Team Lack of Sleep. And finally, to my dear classmates, we only have 2 final years left to the end of our school journey. In a few months' time, we'll also begin our new chapter called the IBDP. What have we learned from the NYP, which will help us succeed along another tough journey? Personally, I believe that everything comes from hard work. May we all set our goals and strive to achieve them. Things won't always go your way, and that is fine too. As long as you know yourself, you've worked to the best of your ability, and you learned from the experience, there is nothing to regret. Also remember to have some fun, and that at EIS we all have each other's back. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Look, I think that deserves another round of applause. I'd like to invite the grade 10 music students to come up on stage and prepare for their performance. Last night I spent the evening looking through music lyrics as you do as a middle-aged man, reading music lyrics from YouTube. And the lyrics I read from this song, Counting Stars, which is what the grade 10s will perform, reads a little bit like this. Lately, I've been losing sleep, dreaming about the things we could be. And it seems somewhat appropriate for this group. If you've seen them, a lot of them come off the bus from Flumiho. They spent an hour on the bus and they're a little bit tired and sleepy in the morning. And it's a recurrent theme in this grade 10 class. So I invite the grade 10s to perform for us Counting Stars by One Republic.
I've been losing sleep, dreaming about the things that we could be. But baby, I've been praying hard. Said no more counting dollars, we'll be counting stars. Yeah, we'll be counting stars. So that money, watch it burn. Sink you to the last dollar. Take that money, watch it burn. Sink you to the last dollar. Take that money, watch it burn. Sink you to the last dollar. Take that money, watch it burn. Sink you to the last dollar. You got trophy.
3, 4.
Makes me feel alive. I'm good to see. Thinking about the things that we could be. But baby, I've been praying hard. Said no more counting dollars till we got these stars. Baby, I've been praying hard. Thinking about the things that we could be. But baby, I've been praying hard. Said no more counting dollars, we'll be counting stars.
Hello again, everyone. We're nearly there. Congratulations to all of our award winners today. You've really done a great job. But thank you to all the rest of you as well for your generosity in applauding and celebrating and congratulating those who have achieved today. I'd like to say a really special thank you and a congratulations actually to our little guys at the front there, the grade 1s and 2s who have held it together so well during a lot of speeches and so on. So give our grade 1s and 2s a round of applause, please. It's not easy, and even I've been getting a bit fidgety at times at the front, so well done. We're nearly there for another year. Just a week to go now. As I said before, we've got summer holidays ahead. We've got a few people moving on, and of course we're going to have lots of new faces next year as well. I wish you guys a wonderful last week of school. I wish you a fantastic holiday as well. I look forward to seeing most of you back here in August. To those of you who are moving on, I wish you all the best of luck and stay in touch. That's it for today. I think we have tea and refreshments outside. Thank you very much.